So the card that we're doing today is one that I saw in this Crafts Beautiful Craft magazine, the June 2022 edition, and I saw it and I thought, oh, that looks good. But when I looked at it, so it's this one here, this tie card. Now it said on it, draw a tie shape onto paper and cut it out, and I was like, well, okay, that I can't just draw a tie shape onto a piece of paper. They've actually done a shaker card. I'm not doing a shaker card, I'm going to be doing just a plain card, but afterwards, if we have time, I will do a shaker after, potentially, maybe. But yeah, so it said, you know, draw a tie, and I was like, well, okay, I can't just draw a tie, so I'm going to have to work that out myself. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to work it out. So I've got so this is what mine looks like. So that's it sideways, and it just stands up on your desk. It's nice and simple. It is a simple card. You know, normally I do these mad pop-up things. This is a simple card, but I just thought, let's keep it simple for my second ever live stream, and also because of Father's Day. But I thought as well it's quite nice for any masculine, you know, birthday or whatever. So that's what I thought we'd have a go at. So what you need to do is make yourself 2 templates. So I've made my 2 templates here, and I'm going to show you how I made these now, so then you've got 2 templates ready. So with your so I'm going to put my base card or a pattern card, I'm going to put to one side for now, and I'm going to bring in my, obviously this is my template, what I'm going to use my template card. So you want to take a ruler and a pencil, and what you're going to do is you're going to measure in along the top 1 inch from the left and make a mark, and 1 inch from the right and make a mark. Okay, you probably can't see my marks, but anyway, I've got a mark here at the top and a mark there. Then you're going to measure in, so you're going to measure down 1 1/4 inches down the side and make a mark, and 1 1/4 inches down this side and make a mark, like that. And then draw a line between those two. Now obviously this is a template, so it doesn't matter if you draw a line straight across. So I'm going to do mine nice and bold so you can hopefully see it. Right, so then what you want to do, along that line that you've just drawn, you want to measure 1 5/8. So 1 5/8 and make a mark, and then measure in from this side 1 5/8. So 1 5/8 and make a mark. And then you're going to join up that 1 5/8 mark with the 1 inch mark at the top. And the same here, and I'm doing it nice and dark, so hopefully you can see it. Okay, so that's that. Then what you want to do, along the bottom edge, you're going to measure in 1 1/2 inches. So measure in 1 1/2 and make a mark, and then measure in 1 1/2 from the other side and make a mark. So you should have 2 marks. One's 1 1/2 inch from there, and one's 1 1/2 inch from there. Then you want to measure up the side 1 5/8 and make a mark, and the same on the other side, 1 5/8 and make a mark. And you're going to draw a line from that first, the 1 1/2 inch mark up to the 1 5/8 inch on the side, and the same on this side. And then we're going to join this mark here up to this mark here. Okay, right, so let's go from here up to there like that, and I'm drawing my nice thick lines so that you can see it like that. Okay, so then as you can see, you've got your tie shape. Right, so then once you've done that, you're now going to go ahead and cut it out. Got your tie shape, you're going to lay your tie shape on top of your other piece of card, and you're going to draw around it. And the reason being, because in a minute we're going to make one of the tie shapes slightly smaller, so we've got a tie shape that is the right size for the pattern. So that's the reason why we're doing it this way. I just found this was the easiest way to do it. So we're going to draw around this one. So once you've done that, you're going to then, actually no, don't cut around this one. So once you've drawn around that one, you want to take your ruler, and I'm basically drawing a border within, so you can see inside my line, and I'm going to go around all the lines and just draw a border. Okay, so you end up with that. So you can see my inside line, hopefully. So now what we're going to do is we are going to cut down that inner line. So forget your outer line. You're going to cut down that inner line, and that will mean that you then end up with a slightly smaller tie shape. And you can then use that for your pattern paper. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take our main piece. So this is the outside. This is the base card template. And this one is the pattern paper template. Right, okay, so this is our finished card. So what we want to do now is we want to take the base template, so the bigger of the two. So if you can see, you've got two there, like that. So the bigger one of the two. And you want to take your two base card pieces and basically draw around, let me do it on the back of this card so I don't end up with pencil lines. Draw around your base card template. Two base card pieces. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lay them on top of each other, and all we're going to do is I'm actually going to stick them together first, and then I'm going to trim them. I don't know if you can see that I've got a little bit of the base, the back base popping across the front, you know, I can see it behind, and the same here is not quite married up. So I am going to I'm going to stick them together. So what you want to do is if you sort of grab it at the neck bit there and just make sure that it's sort of in line with each other, we're going to stick it at that top bit there. So we're literally going to stick this bit here. The one thing that I didn't do that I meant to do was I meant to score the top one first. So this top section here, it's best if you can score that before you stick it down. I'm just going to bend it up against a ruler because that will do the job, and then that way it stands up. If you want to, you can score the back, but I sort of prefer to score the front because it makes you have a differentiation between the you know, the bow bit and the actual tie. So that's why I like doing it that way. Right, let me just trim this bit here. So now what we want to do is add our pattern on. So I've got a bit of a stripe pattern here. So what we're going to do is take our smaller pattern template, and I'm just going to turn it over because I'm going to use the stripes. I'm going to turn it over so I don't end up with pencil lines. Lay your template on, and you want to draw around it. Now hopefully it should fit. Mine's a little bit shorter than my tie, but that's okay. We don't mind that. That's not a problem. Right, so once we've cut our piece of card out, that is literally going to go on the front there like that. And then the only other thing we need to do is do the inside. Now on the inside, I'm going to use that little template again. Obviously, if you're using white as a card base, then you won't need to do necessarily anything on the inside. Because I've got navy, I won't be able to see it. My pattern template, and I'm going to lay that onto here like that. Now because I'm doing it as an internal piece to write my message on, I don't need to do this top bow piece, I need to do the bottom. So we are going to go up to there like that, and then I'll just literally just cut across there. Now we're going to open up the card. Now obviously where you put your pattern paper, that hasn't been scored, so just sort of crease it with, you know, yourself. It doesn't need to open that far. And if you've got a sort of quite thick base, which I have here, then that's quite helpful because it means it's not going to bend that much. So then this is going to go in there like that, and I'm going to stick it straight down, I think. Right, so there we go. There's my tie card, and I put the white on the inner, which I quite like actually because it makes it look quite nice. And then all you need to do then is add your greeting. So obviously if you've done I've already done a Father's Day card, so I've done Father's Day here, so I think this will be a birthday. So we're going to cut out 4 1/4 wide and 8 1/4 long. So just bear with me while I cut these out. So I'm going to use my templates that I made prior because they're really very stiff and good for templates. So let's draw around these. So that's the front, that's the back. Then we need to do the frame. Now the frame is going to be a tiny bit smaller, which is fine. Right, now with this one, I think I'm going to use a Stanley knife for this bit, for the frame. What I'm going to do now then for the actual frame bit is I'm not going to make that top bit the frame because this is too narrow. So if I just I'm going to use the lines on my cutting mat, and I'm just going to come down a bit here, and I need to bear in mind how thick my foam tape is. Right, so 1/4 inch. So this is the back, this is the front, is it not? Yep, and that's the one that's, sorry, the way around. That's the back, that's the front, this is going on the top. Right, okay. And breathe. Right, so now we need to cut a frame. Okay, and then we just need to make a pattern piece underneath. So let's move my what's it out of the way. Yep, that's going to be wide enough. Okay, so I'm going to lay that on. I'm going to draw around it. Now, I will stop saying right, hopefully, one day. Right, so now, just said it again. I'm going to lay this on there like that. And this is going to go behind here. Trimmed it a little bit too similar size to the actual outside of the frame. So let's just trim a little bit off there. This bit doesn't need to look good because this bit, you're not going to see the edges, so it's fine. So let's just bung that there like that. Does that work? Oh, yeah, yeah, that does. Good. Right, okay, so now I need to get some acetate. I'm going to use Dovecraft Premium Acetate. I don't think they do this anymore. I think they've got another version of this. But this is 0.20 millimeters. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I think, is instead of cutting a rectangle, I'm just going to cut it straight out. Now, the good thing about this is it's got a protective cover on it. So because it's got a protective cover on it, that's on that side. I'm going to use indelible pen because it won't matter. Because it's got, I'm going to take that cover off. So that's very useful indeed. So I just need to make sure I don't get the indelible pen on my actual card. Do I have, is this going to be a bit, is this small? Is that small enough? Oh, I could do it to the same, okay. Forget that then. Let's use the small pattern paper piece template, and I'm going to use that instead because it doesn't matter if I get indelible pen on that. So we use a Sharpie and just draw around my acetate. So now I'm going to go ahead and stick this tie onto there. I don't quite know why I've done the top bit. I didn't really need the top bit, but anyway, I've done it now. So let's remember to take the protective layer off it. Right, so we're sticking the acetate onto the back of the frame. So this is me sticking it down. So we now have a tie shape with a frame, and we've got acetate stuck onto the back. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add the foam tape to the white card and stick this bit on the top. It kind of would be easier to put the foam tape here, but then you've got to stick this blind onto there, which isn't easier. Okay, so now I need to go ahead and stick my tie. So now we can go ahead and add the foam tape. Now I'm a bit concerned that me adding foam tape is going to go a bit AWOL. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick foam tape on this side because I can just see what's going to happen and I don't want to go down that road. So we are going to add foam tape on the opposite side here. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to add the back on first before I do any more. Before I add this shaker bit, I'm going to add the back on because I foresee there might well be problems if I don't. So let me just stick this down first. I'm going to bend this bit up. Just bend this bit up here. Oh, actually, no, I can't. We have to bend the back bit. So on this one, we're going to have to bend the back section, not the front section, because of the shaker bit. Because it's not going to be able to bend if you've got foam tape on it. Right, let's add some shaker bits into it now. Now, this is the problem, because normally I would add them in here, and then obviously, well, have the foam tape, and add them in the middle of the foam tape so you know where you're going. But because we are not doing it that way, oh, I've just lost a sequin somewhere. There it is. This will be interesting because I have visions of having sequins. Running off the table. I have visions of having sequins stuck to the red tape. So stay tuned for that one. That will be interesting. Right, and then we want some of the green. used to have a little spoon here for things like this, but I don't know where it's gone. Right, bit of the green and a bit of that blue, like that. Now, do we think we need more? Is that about right? Right, I think, I don't know, I feel like we're going to need more. We might need a tiny bit more, but not much. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I think I'd rather go a few less. Anti-stack at the inside of the foam. Okay. What, on here? Oh yeah, that bit there. Well, I've already done that. I've sort of already done it, but it's still sticky. So let's go back over it again. Good thinking, Sheila. Because I was thinking, because I anti-static the inside, both sides of the roll, that it would be okay. But I've just felt it, and you're right, it does need anti-staticking. And now I've got dust all over my acetate, which is always good. And here's some of the sequins of the pattern paper, so you have a bit of bling. Oh yes, that's a good idea as well. Thank you, Silver Granny, for that. I will do that as well. That's a very good idea, because that's one thing I don't like about shaker cards, is when it all disappears off down the bottom and you've got nothing at the top. So let's do that now. Take off all this backing, which is easier said than done. Right, so now we've got the fun part of sticking all this down without all the static. Just stick that down there. There we go. Yay, we did it! We did it! We did it! Hurrah! That looks alright actually. I'm quite impressed with that. And then I quite like the white, the blue frame, the white, and then the blue behind. Although I'm going to have to cut a smaller one inside. Right. So there you go. That's it. It stands up nice. Got a nice shaker. Just needs a greeting or whatever on the front of it. Got one of my cat's hairs at the top because she was all over my desk yesterday, so that's helpful. And then inside you've got room to write. So there you go, everybody. We did it. 2 cards in 1. Wow. Buy one, get one free. Right, I'm going to poodle off then, I think, and go and lie in a darkened room. That's what I'm going to do. And I expect you guys probably will want to as well after that mammoth thing. So thank you for everybody for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. I've already left a comment, but if you want to leave another comment, please do. And yeah, hope you all have a good weekend and a good evening. And I'll see you again on the next one.